You know that moment at a party when the music is playing, the kids are laughing, and everything feels like it's covered in a layer of golden happiness? That lasted right up until the moment my mother-in-law pressed her gin and tonic into my chest, pinned me against the kitchen counter, and hissed loud enough for the entire backyard to hear, "You're just a leech. You've bled my son dry, and today, everyone is going to see you for the parasite you are." My daughter, Lily, was turning 7. She was wearing the pink princess dress my husband, Derek, had bought her. And in that moment, I genuinely believed that by the time the candles were blown out, I'd be standing on the street, humiliated and alone, with nothing but the clothes on my back. But they didn't know about the folder. They didn't know about the text. And they had absolutely no idea who my daughter invited to the party. My name is Jess. For the last 5 years, I've been a stay-at-home mom. Before that, I was a marketing director at a tech firm in the city. But when Lily was born with a minor heart condition that required constant monitoring and therapy, the math was simple. Derek, my husband, made good money as an architect, and my entire salary would have gone to a full-time specialized nurse. So, I stepped back. I handled the 27 doctor appointments a month. I handled the therapies. I handled the house. I handled Derek's insane mother, Patricia. Patricia is the kind of woman who wears pearls to the grocery store and says things like, "In my day, we didn't have anxiety, we had things to do." She comes from money. Old money. The kind of money that lets you look down on people who actually work for a living. From the moment Derek brought me home, she hated me. I was the help. I was the girl from the wrong side of the tracks who tricked her golden boy into marriage by getting pregnant. Never mind that we were already engaged when we found out about Lily. Never mind that Derek loved me. For 5 years, she chipped away at me. Small comments. "Oh, you're wearing that? Isn't it nice that Derek lets you stay home? You must feel so useless while he's out conquering the world." Derek always defended me. "Mom, stop." But Patricia is a master manipulator. In front of him, she'd play the loving, concerned grandmother. The moment he left the room, the viper came out. For Lily's 7th birthday, we decided to go all out. A backyard carnival. Bounce house. Face painting. We'd saved for months. Derek and I wanted to give her a normal, magical childhood, a buffer against the scary hospital visits. Patricia and my father-in-law, Richard, a quiet man who just writes checks to avoid conflict, arrived early. Patricia walked in, looked at the decorations I'd spent a week on, and said, "Charming. Very budget-friendly." I smiled. "It's for Lily, Patricia. She loves pink. Lily would love a pony, too, but we can't always get what we want, can we? Some of us have to work for it." Derek was outside inflating the bounce house. He didn't hear it. He never did. As the guests arrived, these neighbors, Lily's friends from preschool, a few of my mom friends, Patricia held court on the patio. She was telling some story about a charity gala she'd attended, subtly pointing out the difference between her world and this cute little gathering. Then, the first blow landed. A catering van pulled up. A man in a uniform got out, carrying a massive, 3-tiered, professionally decorated unicorn cake. It was spectacular. It must have cost a fortune. Patricia's eyes narrowed. She marched over to me as I was thanking the delivery driver. "Jessica," she said, her voice dripping with ice. "What is that? We agreed to keep this party within reasonable means. That cake is excessive. Did you take money from the household budget for this? Is that why the hedges out front haven't been trimmed?" I opened my mouth to explain, but she cut me off. "Don't lie to me. I know you don't have a credit card of your own. Derek told me he handles the finances. So either you stole from him, or you begged him for it. It's pathetic." Before I could speak, Derek came around the corner. "Wow. The cake. It's here." Jess, it's perfect. He kissed my cheek. Patricia's face twitched. She couldn't attack with him there being so happy. That's when she changed tactics. She decided to destroy me in front of everyone. As the afternoon wore on, I noticed the whispers. Derek's aunt gave me a sad smile. His cousin looked away when I walked by. Patricia was doing what she does best, planting seeds. I heard a snippet as I walked past the punch bowl. Such a shame. Derek works so hard, and she just shops online all day, you know? My blood ran cold. The final straw came during the gift opening. Lily was sitting in her little plastic throne, tearing through wrapping paper with glee. She got dolls, art supplies, books. Then, Patricia stood up. Lily, darling, she cooed. Grandma has a special present for you. Something much better than all this plastic. She handed Lily a flat, rectangular box. Lily opened it. Inside was a framed stock certificate. This, Patricia announced to the group, is a share of stock in my company. It's worth more than all the toys here combined. It's an investment in your future. Because Grandma believes in real value, not just fleeting pleasures. The implication hung in the air. Everything we had given Lily was worthless. Fleeting. She had just called my daughter's birthday presents trash in front of everyone. Lily looked confused. Thank you, Grandma, she said quietly, trying to be polite. I saw red. But I held it together. I took a deep breath. That's very generous, Patricia, I said, my voice tight. She looked at me, a triumphant little smile on her lips. She thought she'd won the day. She thought she'd proven her superiority. That's when I told Derek it was time to get the cake ready. We had a special moment planned. A sparkler candle for Lily to wish on. Derek went to get the camera. Lily was still surrounded by kids. I was in the kitchen, looking for the long lighter for the sparkler candle. Patricia followed me in. She closed the kitchen door. The sounds of the party became muffled. She leaned against the counter, swirling her drink. You know, Jessica, I tried to give you a chance. For Derek's sake. For Lily's. But you're a user. You always have been. Patricia, now is really not the time, I said, my back to her. It's the perfect time, she said. She walked up behind me. Look at this house. Look at this party. None of it is yours. You live in my son's house. You spend my son's money. You have no career. No future. You're a leech. I turned around. She was right in my face. That's when she pushed the glass into my chest, the cold liquid sloshing onto my blouse. You're just a leech, she hissed, her voice low but venomous. You've bled my son dry, and today, everyone is going to see you for the parasite you are. After today, Derek is going to realize the mistake he made. I've made sure of it. My heart stopped. What did you do? She smiled, a slow, evil smile. I showed him the receipts. The credit card statements I had a friend pull. The ones for your coffee meetups and gym memberships. The ones that add up to more than you could possibly account for. He's looking at them right now. He's going to see the embezzler he married. I froze. I didn't have any secret accounts. I didn't have any secret spending. But I knew, with a sickening lurch, that she had fabricated something. She had doctored something. She had finally made her move. I felt the world tilt. She was going to take my family from me. For one horrible second, I thought I was going to be sick. I saw my life crumbling. Derek, looking at me with betrayal in his eyes. Lily, caught in the middle. Me, on the street. But then, something clicked. A cold, hard calm settled over me. The fight or flight vanished, replaced by pure, crystalline clarity. I looked at Patricia. You're right, I said quietly. It's time everyone saw the truth. She blinked, confused by my lack of panic. I reached into my back pocket. I pulled out my phone. I had an email. An email I'd been waiting for all week. I'd kept it secret because I wanted to tell Derek and Lily at the perfect moment. At her birthday dinner. I opened the attachment. A contract. An official letterhead. Patricia scoffed. What is that? A coupon? No, Patricia, I said, walking past her and opening the kitchen door. I walked out into the backyard, into the middle of the party. The guests saw my face and went silent. I saw Derek standing by the bounce house. He had a stack of papers in his hand, the fake statements Patricia had given him. He looked up at me, his face a mask of confusion and hurt. I held up my hand. Everyone, I said, my voice ringing out. Before the cake, I have an announcement to make. A birthday announcement. Patricia came up behind me, a smirk returning. She thought I was about to make a fool of myself. I have spent the last 5 years, I said, looking directly at Patricia, being called a lot of things. A leech. A parasite. A woman who doesn't contribute. I turned to the guests, to Derek's family, to my friends. The truth is, when Lily was born, I walked away from a 6-figure career to take care of her. I put my life on hold so my daughter could live. And for 5 years, I've been quietly building a new one. I held up my phone. You see, I didn't stop working. I just stopped leaving the house to do it. While Lily napped, while she was in therapy, while she slept at night, I wrote. I started a blog about navigating parenting a child with special needs. It turned into a book deal. And that book deal turned into this. I turned the phone around. On the screen was the email. I zoomed in so people could see the logo. My parent company was just acquired by a major media corporation for $2.4 million. A collective gasp went through the crowd. I looked at Patricia. The color had drained from her face. The smirk was gone. She looked like she'd been slapped. But I wasn't done. That's not all, I said. I looked at Derek. Baby, those papers she gave you? They're fake. But I do have some receipts. I opened the folder I had placed on the gift table earlier. The one Patricia hadn't noticed. Here are the receipts for the car I bought you last year, Derek, using my advance money. Here is the wire transfer that paid off your student loans. Here is the deposit slip for the down payment on this house, which I made from my first royalty check, 6 months before we even moved in. I turned to Patricia. You see, Patricia, I own this house. I paid for this party. I paid for that stock you gave Lily, because the money for the gift came from an account in my name that you couldn't see. I've been letting your son spend my money for the last 2 years because he works hard and he deserves to feel like a provider. I never needed his money. I never needed yours. The silence was deafening. Patricia was trembling. Her husband, Richard, just stared at her, his face unreadable. Then, the back door to the house opened. My mother stepped out, followed by my father. Patricia looked at them, a flicker of recognition in her eyes. They were just the grandparents to her. Working-class people from Ohio. My father walked over and handed me a check. For the catering, honey, he said loudly. Happy birthday to Lily. But Patricia wasn't looking at the check. She was looking at my father's face. And then, at the woman behind him. My mother walked up to Patricia, a smile playing on her lips. Hello, Patricia, she said. Long time, no see. Patricia's mouth opened and closed like a fish. My mother turned to the stunned crowd. You all know me as Barb, Jess's mom. But some of you might remember me from my previous career. I was the head of HR at major investment firm for 30 years. I hired Patricia for her first job out of college. She leaned in, her voice just loud enough for everyone to hear. I also have the original copies of the timesheets she faked to get her first promotion. Funny how history repeats itself, isn't it? Patricia looked like a ghost. All those years of looking down on me, on my family. And the woman she thought was a simple housewife from Ohio was the one person who could ruin her. Not just socially. Professionally. She had built her empire on a foundation of sand, and my mother held the tide in her hands. Derek looked from the fake receipts in his hands, to the real ones I'd given him, to his mother's ashen face. The confusion was gone. It was replaced by a cold, hard look I'd never seen before. He walked over to his mother. He didn't yell. He didn't scream. He just spoke in a quiet, firm voice. "Mom. It's time for you to leave." "Son, she stammered. "Now, Mom. And you're not welcome back until you can apologize to my wife. Not just for today. For every single day of the last 7 years. And even then, it might not be enough." Patricia and Richard left without another word. The party didn't miss a beat. In fact, it got better. The tension was gone. The cloud had lifted. As we gathered around Lily to sing happy birthday, she looked up at me, her big eyes wide. "Mommy," she whispered. "Is Grandma a leech?" I laughed. I actually laughed. I hugged her tight. "No, baby. Grandma just forgot how to be a good person for a while. But Mommy's here. And Mommy isn't going anywhere." I looked across the flame of the sparkler candle at Derek. He was looking at me, his eyes full of tears and a love so deep it took my breath away. He mouthed the words, "I'm so sorry." I shook my head. It wasn't his fault. As Lily blew out the candles, the sparkler showering light around her, I knew something for certain. I wasn't a leech. I was the goddamn queen of the hive. And I had just smoked out the wasp.